Man is born in chains and dies without ever noticing them. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Before we begin, here's a small ritual. Write in the comments one word that accurately describes your current state. Sign it, and let's get started. You wake up next to someone. You talk, you share a bed, you share your life. But deep inside, there is a cold emptiness. You are together, but you are alone. You go to work, meet friends, post pictures, laugh at jokes. Yet when the noise fades, there is a silence inside that no one hears. Most people know this feeling, this quiet sadness that sits behind every smile. You search for love. You enter relationships. You even find people who say they love you. But somehow, it never reaches that place inside that truly longs to be seen. You are not broken. You are not alone. This emptiness has nothing to do with your worth. It's not because you haven't tried hard enough. The truth is darker, deeper, and harder to accept. And it has nothing to do with you personally. The world you live in has stolen something from you. Something you may not even remember losing. Real love. Not the kind of love sold in movies. Not the fantasy of soulmates. Not the perfect romance. But the raw, painful, powerful connection between two people who dare to see each other fully. That kind of love is dying. Slowly, quietly, and almost no one notices. Everywhere you look, love has become a transaction, a trade, a deal. You offer your looks, your status, your charm. In return, you hope for attention, comfort, maybe security. But it's not love. It's survival dressed as love. You scroll through dating apps where people swipe through faces like products. You follow influencers who sell fantasies of perfect relationships, perfect bodies, perfect lives. You consume endless content about how to attract, how to keep, how to control. But the more you try, the emptier you feel. Because real love cannot be bought, managed, or controlled. And deep down, you know it. We live in a world where dopamine rules. Fast pleasure replaces deep connection. Pornography offers quick release without intimacy. Social media offers likes without being truly seen. Apps offer endless choices without true commitment. Every click, every swipe, every like pulls you further from what your soul actually craves. The ability to be fully present with another human being, to hold their pain, to allow them to hold yours. This is the real famine of the 21st century. Not food, not money, but love. True, deep, human love. The system has taught us to confuse love with advantage. From childhood, we are programmed to measure our value by what we can offer. Are you attractive enough? Successful enough? Do you have enough followers? Enough money? Enough charm? Love has been reduced to an exchange of benefits. If you provide what the other wants, you are worthy. If not, you are disposable. This silent contract runs every modern relationship. People no longer meet to give. They meet to take. They come with expectations, lists, conditions. He must be tall, successful, dominant. She must be young, beautiful, submissive. Behind the smiles and dates hides an unconscious negotiation. Nobody speaks of it openly, but everyone feels it. This is not connection. This is business. Dating apps amplify this trade. Profiles are built like advertisements. Perfect photos, carefully crafted bios, calculated poses. Each swipe feeds the illusion of abundance, but leaves a trail of emptiness. The more options you have, the less you value anyone. The mind becomes addicted to novelty, always chasing the next hit of excitement. Real intimacy demands patience, vulnerability, and commitment. But the system offers quick replacements for all of it. Porn provides the illusion of sexual connection without the risk of rejection. Social media offers attention without emotional investment. Influencers sell the fantasy of perfect love, creating impossible standards that no real human can meet. The tragedy is not just that we are lonely. The tragedy is that we no longer remember what love truly feels like. Love has become performance. People present their best selves, hiding their fears, traumas, insecurities. They wear masks, terrified of being seen for who they are. Because being seen means risking rejection, and rejection feels like death. So we hide, and in hiding, we kill the possibility of true love. Not because we don't want it, but because we are too scared to face what real love requires, to be fully known, with all our darkness exposed. At the core of this crisis lies the unconscious mind, the hidden forces that govern our choices without us even realizing it. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the parts of ourselves we deny, repress, and hide because we believe they make us unlovable. These rejected pieces hold our deepest wounds: fear of abandonment, feelings of unworthiness, rage, shame, and guilt. Instead of facing them, we project them onto others. We seek partners to fix what we refuse to heal inside. We expect someone to give us the love we cannot give ourselves. But no partner can fill that void. This is why so many relationships collapse under the weight of unspoken expectations. Each person silently demands that the other completes them. And when that fails, the disappointment turns into blame, resentment, or detachment. Love turns into a battlefield of unmet needs and broken fantasies. The relationship becomes a mirror, reflecting back the wounds each person carries. Yet most people do not see this. They believe their partner is the problem, never realizing the enemy lives within. Real love demands something brutal: to face your shadow fully, to sit with your pain, your insecurities, your unresolved trauma, without demanding someone else soothe it for you. It requires emotional nakedness, standing in front of another human being, without masks, without performances, without defense. This is why true intimacy is so rare, because most people are not ready to be seen. The culture we live in encourages perfection, flawless appearances, carefully curated lives, filtered images, and constant performance. Vulnerability is framed as weakness. Admitting fear, expressing doubt, or exposing wounds feels dangerous, so people keep performing, hoping that by being perfect, they will finally feel worthy of love. But the performance itself becomes the barrier. No one can love you while you are performing. They can only love your mask, not your truth. And deep down, you know this. That is why, even when someone loves your mask, you still feel alone. Because your true self remains unseen, untouched, unfelt. And so, the emptiness grows. The paradox is cruel. The more you fear losing love, the more you destroy the possibility of ever having it. Love is not possession. It is not control. It is not safety. Love is freedom. The freedom to choose each other every day without chains, without guarantees, without ownership. And that freedom terrifies people, because freedom means you can lose what you cherish at any moment. It means trusting without certainty, giving without assurance, opening your soul knowing it may be broken. But that is the price of real love. You cannot experience deep connection without risking deep pain. And so, most people choose comfort over love. They settle for predictable arrangements, transactional relationships, surface-level companionships that keep them safe but empty. They say they want love, but they are unwilling to pay its price. and love slowly dies, not with a scream, but with silence. The good news is this: the ability to love is not lost. It sleeps beneath the layers of fear, trauma, and conditioning. To awaken it, one must begin within. The first step is to confront your own shadow, not to fight it, but to meet it with honesty and compassion. Sit with your insecurities. Acknowledge your fears of abandonment, your hunger for validation, your terror of being seen. Let them rise without judgment. This is not easy. The mind will resist. The ego will fight. The body will shake. But in facing these inner demons, you reclaim your power. Second, practice being present. Love exists only in presence, not in the mind's projections or fantasies, but in the raw now. Put down your phone. Close the endless apps. Feel your own breath. Notice your partner's eyes, their breath, their heartbeat. Connection lives here, not in the mind's noise. Third, limit the dopamine traps. Pornography, social media, casual swiping, these flood the brain with artificial pleasure, numbing your capacity for real connection. Create space for boredom, for stillness, for depth. Let your nervous system recalibrate to real, slow, imperfect human contact. Finally, dare to be vulnerable. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Reveal your fears, your wounds, your desires. Allow yourself to be seen fully. Vulnerability is the door through which real love enters. Without it, love remains a fantasy. With it, love becomes a living, breathing reality. Real love is brutal in its beauty. It forces you to let go of illusions, to release control, to surrender your defenses. It asks you to love someone, not for what they give you, but for who they are, fully, imperfectly, humanly. This kind of love holds space for both light and shadow. It does not demand perfection, nor does it collapse under flaws. It breathes in truth, even when that truth is uncomfortable. Most people believe love should always feel good, always be easy, always bring happiness. But this is a lie, sold by a world addicted to comfort. Real love includes pain. It includes disappointment, conflict, and fear. But through it all, it offers something deeper than happiness: connection. The kind of connection where two people see each other's darkest corners and choose to stay. Not because they have to, but because they want to. This is where love transforms from fragile emotion into unbreakable bond. And very few have the courage to walk this path. The system we live in fears this kind of love. It cannot sell it, package it, or control it. True love threatens the entire structure of consumerism. Because people who experience real love need less. They do not chase endless validation, constant entertainment, or superficial pleasures. They find richness in presence, depth in simplicity, satisfaction in the ordinary moments shared with another soul. That kind of fulfillment cannot be monetized. It cannot be manufactured. And so, the system distracts you. It offers you quick fixes, endless options, and shallow pleasures that keep you hungry but never full. It teaches you to confuse attention with affection, sex with intimacy, excitement with connection. The longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it becomes to recognize what you have lost. You become numb to the emptiness, mistaking stimulation for fulfillment. But deep inside, your soul knows. It whispers at night, in the quiet moments, reminding you that something is missing. Not more followers, not more dates, not more sex, but real, vulnerable, unconditional love. The kind that sees you, holds you, challenges you, and accepts you entirely. To reclaim this kind of love, you must become someone capable of holding it. It begins with radical self-honesty. You must be willing to see where you have settled for comfort instead of connection, where you have hidden behind control instead of risking vulnerability. This work is not glamorous. It will not bring instant relief or quick happiness. It requires facing the parts of yourself you have long avoided. The wounds from childhood that taught you love equals pain. The betrayals that convinced you to close your heart. The insecurities that whisper, you are not enough. You cannot bypass this pain. You cannot outsmart it with logic or cover it with affirmations. You must feel it. You must grieve what was lost, mourn the parts of yourself you had to abandon to survive. Only by fully inhabiting your own pain can you develop the capacity to sit with someone else's. This is the foundation of true intimacy, the ability to hold another's wounds without needing to fix them, judge them, or run from them. Most people cannot do this, not because they lack love, but because they lack the capacity to hold emotional weight. They drown in their own unhealed wounds and cannot carry anyone else's. So relationships become power struggles, cycles of projection, battles for control disguised as love. Building this capacity takes practice. You begin by learning to sit with your own discomfort without reacting, numbing, or escaping. When sadness comes, you breathe through it. When fear arises, you observe it. When loneliness appears, you allow it to exist without judgment. Over time, your nervous system adapts. You stop needing constant distraction. You stop chasing stimulation to avoid the silence. And in that stillness, something profound happens. You create space for another human being to enter, not to fill your emptiness, but to share in your fullness. This is where real love grows, in shared silence, in mutual presence, in the quiet knowing that neither of you needs to perform to be accepted. You simply are. Two souls, meeting without masks, without agendas, without conditions. This love does not depend on constant happiness or perfect compatibility. It thrives in the daily choice to stay open, honest, and present, even when it's uncomfortable, even when fear whispers its threats, even when the world outside tells you to run. Real love requires courage, the courage to remain soft in a world that teaches hardness, the courage to risk your heart without guarantees, the courage to love someone entirely, knowing they could leave, hurt you, disappoint you, and still choose to give them your presence, your truth, your care. If you want real love to live inside you and between you and another person, you must protect it daily, like a fragile fire in the middle of a storm. The world will constantly try to extinguish it with distraction, fear, comparison, and numbness. You must choose to resist, not once, but again and again. Love is not something you find and keep forever. It is something you build, moment by moment, decision by decision. And the building starts with discipline. First, protect your nervous system. Modern life bombards you with artificial highs, endless scrolling, instant messaging, pornographic imagery, and shallow entertainment. These constant dopamine spikes train your brain to crave stimulation, not depth. The more you indulge them, the harder it becomes to sit still with another person, to listen, to feel, to connect. Begin to detox your nervous system. Set hard boundaries with your phone. Turn off notifications. Limit your exposure to social media. Replace fast entertainment with slow presence. Sit in silence. Walk without music. Read long books. Allow your brain to recalibrate. The stiller you become, the more sensitive you get to real connection. Second, Learn to communicate from truth, not defense. Most couples don't fail because they lack love, but because they never learned to speak honestly. They communicate to defend, to win, to protect their pride. Real communication begins when you drop the need to be right. When you can say, "I feel hurt," instead of, "You always hurt me." When you can say, "I fear losing you," instead of, "You don't care about me." This level of honesty requires vulnerability and trust, but every time you choose truth over defense, you build intimacy instead of walls. Third, practice seeing your partner as a separate human being, not an extension of your needs. Many people enter relationships unconsciously expecting their partner to heal their inner wounds. They want safety, validation, constant reassurance. This creates a dynamic of pressure and suffocation. The healthiest love grows between two people who take full responsibility for their own emotional state. Your partner is not responsible for your happiness, nor are you for theirs. You are responsible for your wounds, your healing, your self-worth. When both people own their inner world, they meet from fullness, not emptiness. They can support each other without collapsing into codependency. Fourth, build rituals of presence. Love thrives in consistent, intentional connection. Set daily or weekly moments where you fully enter each other's world. This can be as simple as sitting together for 10 minutes without phones, sharing what you feel, what you fear, what you hope for. Create tech-free zones in your home. Share meals without screens. Go on walks where you simply hold hands and breathe. The ritual itself matters less than the intention behind it. Full presence, full attention, full openness. Fifth, normalize conflict as part of love, not the end of it. Every deep relationship will encounter pain, misunderstanding, and disappointment. Conflict does not mean failure. It means two complex human beings are trying to merge their worlds. The goal is not to avoid conflict, but to repair it healthily. When anger rises, pause, breathe, speak from your emotions, not your accusations. Focus on expressing your experience rather than attacking your partner's character. After conflict, always return to reconnection, not with forced apologies, but with genuine openness to understand and move forward together. Sixth, honor each other's individuality. Love is not about merging into one identity, but about supporting each other's unique paths. Encourage your partner's passions, growth, and independence. Do not try to control or reshape them. Trust that their expansion does not threaten your connection, but enriches it. In this space of freedom, love breathes. Seventh, cultivate gratitude daily. The mind easily fixates on what is lacking, what is wrong, what is not enough. This erodes love over time. Counter this by intentionally acknowledging what you appreciate in your partner. Speak it, write it, hold it close. Gratitude nourishes love, like water to a plant. It keeps the heart open, even during hard seasons. Eighth, face your shadow together. True intimacy allows you to reveal not only your strengths, but also your deepest wounds. Create safe spaces where both of you can share your fears, your traumas, your shame, without judgment. Listen not to fix, but to witness. Support each other in personal healing work, whether through therapy, coaching, or self-reflection. The deeper you both go inward, the stronger your bond outward. Ninth, consciously guard your relationship from external toxins. Gossip, comparison, interference from friends or family, cultural narratives about relationships, all these can poison the sacred space between two people. Create boundaries that protect your union, What happens between you stays between you. Discuss your challenges privately, not publicly. Build a fortress around your connection that others cannot invade. 10th, never stop choosing each other. Love is not a feeling that magically stays alive. It is a conscious daily choice to prioritize, to nurture, to show up fully. Some days it will feel effortless. Other days it will feel hard, but the choice remains. Do not wait for motivation or passion to carry you. Build the discipline of love, the small, consistent actions that say, I am here, I choose you. Finally, understand this. You are living in a world that wants you numb, distracted, isolated, and dependent on external validation. Real love is rebellion against this system. It is a return to your deepest human nature, to see and be seen, to give and receive, to hold and be held. Do not surrender your soul to the machine that turns hearts into consumers. Fight for your ability to feel, to connect, to love, not by force, but by daily, radical presence. And if you recognize yourself in these words, write in the comments, I reclaim my ability to love. Let us create a community of those who refuse to become emotional machines, who choose to feel, to risk, to connect, fully, bravely, honestly. This is only the beginning. We're sure you've discovered plenty of value, so subscribe now and stay connected.